Good morning, traders. This is Perry Wilkie with StartupTrading.com. It is 8:46 a.m. Eastern Time on Monday, September 14, 2020. So as we look back really at the ES over a 1 year time frame, what I want to point out here is really where this pullback has gone to. So uh, let's do this. So as we look at our previous high that we had here, you know, it was, right around that 33 95, right around there, give or take a few points. So as we come across here, that's really what we struggle with. We had like 7 days up. We've had, more than 7 days, back down a retracement. But I want to zoom in here to this gap and really focus on this gap. So we had a gap here that we went through on the second day down, right? So this gap was satisfied right in here. Let's try that again. So that gap was satisfied. And then last Friday during the bell, we filled this gap overnight again on earlier in the week, but we finally got back to it again last Friday. So technically speaking, we could have set a range. There's a small gap down here that goes back to, really July 31st to August 3rd. So that was over a weekend, right? So we've got a little bit of a gap there that we could go to, but I think we're closer to having the bottom of the range potentially set. So this is right around where I think things change longer term if we start, getting below this last gap that's left on the charts. That really gets us below where we gapped down harder when we started the fall for COVID. So if you split this up, we've really got a distribution that's much larger that is basically this whole zone right here, right? So we've got below, things were going, well, and we've got, we're back up above. So I think we've canceled all of this out. So what I'm thinking right now, and until proven otherwise, I'm going to assume that this gap is close to being, or this, range is potentially set at the bottom. We could go back down a little bit farther than we've gone, maybe all the way down to, 32.65, right around there. But I'm really watching 32.71 half is the level, just the highs from this area. And if you look at the high, that is actually the gap. It's 68. So as we start there, uh, sorry about that. So let me close my doors here. All right. So now that we have the dogs under control, we'll see if we can get the markets under control. So as we look here, this is the gap I'm really watching. So I think we're close to the range. We might not, see the fill of this secondary or this last third gap here, and then, come up. So what I'm thinking is we're probably going to go back and fill over this range that we've been in there basically for the last 3 weeks, and we're likely to be in this range probably for another 4 to 9 weeks, and before we really make a decision. I think we're going to spend a lot of more time. You can see how much more volume is developed below 33.95. So if and when we get back above here, I can see this getting a little bit more fill, maybe an incremental higher high. So that's really what I'm looking at. I want to make the rest of this quick. So looking at the level 4s today, and I really think level 3 would be the absolute high for the day if we get in there. That's going to be at R3. That's going to be at 34.15. If you just go back at the chart, you can see on the basic support resistance that we're looking at here, you can see, that the R3 really lines up with this previous bottom. We tried to hold it here last Tuesday. It was resistance on Wednesday and Thursday. So right around that level. I don't see us really trading above that as the high for the day, and I'm really expecting a little bit of range contraction over the recent ranges we've been in lately. So let's get into the rest of the markets real quick. So looking at the Fib sequences for the ES, from the overnight high, we are holding a 61.8 short, so keep that in mind. We are also loosely holding a halfway back long, so a little bit of bull bear battle there. And then as we look at the Nasdaq, it has pierced at 61.8, right? But now it's holding that halfway back short again, and it's still loosely holding its halfway back long. So I think that the bears have been in control. We're gapping up pretty hard, so it wouldn't surprise me if we just kind of stay for a little while between where they both think that they're right. Now you can see that the Russell has pierced its 61.8, so maybe the bulls will start getting advantage. And you can see that holding that halfway back long pretty good. So that's going to target up to 15.1830 if it goes. So we've already looked at some long-term charts. I'm not really going to get into too much of that. And then if we go into really the profile, where we're at for the looking at everyone, we are basically, at the upper end of, we're near value area high. We're at the previous day's high, right? So back to Friday's high. So the Dow's at Friday's high, the ES, and you got the Nasdaq and the Russell just flirting with value area high to the previous day's high as well. And you can see the previous day's high for the Nasdaq was right on, or just barely under that previous high. So look for a little bit of contraction. Don't really look for I don't think that the lows are going to get taken out for really anyone today from Friday. If we do, I think it's going to be an opportunity as soon as you get back up into Friday's range. If you pop below it, I think it's going to be a good long. I hope this helps. I'm not looking for a whole lot today. Probably just a little bit of back and forth, and I'll watch to see who can stay above value and who can't from Friday. I hope this helps.